Hello. Today I am doing a video again on Ted Cruz. He is a Harvard Law graduate, and why I'm going back to it? Well, he's been a senator since 2013, and he's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I've talked about his aspects before, but I'm going to go over them again because there's some very interesting details up and coming. He has difficulty expressing his emotions. Moon square Mercury surrounding traditions. He just doesn't care to be traditional in any way. And I think we're seeing that. Mercury square Uranus. Ideas that are different, conservative and radical. He breaks with tradition, and he is moody. Okay, Venus conjunct Mars, values gusto and drama, is rather than avoids, he has an appetite for action. And why I'm bringing this up today is that lawmakers are finding it difficult to feel safe, and they're saying that they do not feel safe. So I don't think I'm recording. Oh yes, I am. Okay, they don't feel safe, and so I'm sorry, I've got it kind of recording on my cell phone too, so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, he has Venus opposition Saturn. He is not a rule follower. He's kind of into breaking with authority and does not care for the law in some ways. And what I find interesting is that we have law enforcement basically involved in this insurrection, and it's rather amazing that we're having such a difficult time. He has Mars opposition Saturn, strong drive. He wasn't, and I've already said all this, but he's not coachable. He avoids paying his dues, and he is neglectful and ignores responsibilities. Dreams and reality tend to merge. Okay. Wants to preserve his status quo. He basically is in a situation where he has broken the law, and he wants to keep the law from coming for him. And I can tell you that it's coming around to where it might be about, I want to say in April, maybe around April, he's going to start seeing some real legal trouble if he doesn't just plain go to prison. And here I have it. I have Jupiter square Jupiter, April 18th, 2021, a career square off. So I think that that's kind of consistent with how I feel about what's happening. And so what I did is that I did a chart for Ted Cruz, and it is a little bit more than normal. I did a Ted Cruz Natal, and then I did a transit and progressed on the outer. So we've got plenty of information here to work with, and so I am going to turn the camera over to the actual natal chart, and we will begin. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we're going to use the Wildwood Tarot. And I have a small area, so I'm going to really plan on Spirit providing me my hands information I need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to take that card, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, there we go. 12 cards. Throwing them around, guys. Throwing them around. Okay, let's get those picked up. Living tiny has its benefits and has its downsides because there's not as much room for anything, but I prefer it. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And I'm using Wildwood Tarot. And so I am going to change my camera angle a little bit, so just hold on. All right, here we go. Ted Cruz. And here we are. First of all, in his natal, he's got Pluto in Virgo in the first house of Soul. And he has Uranus conjunct Moon, second house, so he's got first and second house kind of influence right here in the house of Soul. And let's see, he's candid, aggressive, unconventional. He's kind of controlling. Okay, he just is. He's very controlling. He's having a hard time, and he gets the balance card, and that's interesting right off the bat. It's saying that the guy has some karmic dues, and this is going to relate not only to karma in numerology, but it's also going to be a 1-5 or 1-4, which is going to equal 5, and in that he has been, you know, in that sense, part of the divisionary process, which I think we all know that. I don't think that's any big surprise, and that's really not why I'm interested in talking about Ted Cruz. I'm kind of more interested in talking about Ted Cruz because it's just kind of my impression that even though it's very clear that Biden is the president, there's still some form of resistance on the part of Ted Cruz about this presidency. And in his second house, his motivation is self-based. I mean, he's really kind of self-centered, okay? And his moon in Virgo, you know, he's very, he thinks about himself a lot. So it's very self-centered, okay? And then he has Venus in Libra in the second house. He wants things to be fair for self, okay? And in his progress chart, he has Pluto. Let's see, actually, that's his transit. No, yeah, nope. Never mind. It's his progress chart. He has Pluto in the second house, and that's interesting because that lines up with the USA chart, where he was attempting to align himself to take over the government. And now I say that like I know it factually, but it's just a gut feeling that I have, and I'm just having a really hard time letting it go because I feel like we're going to find this out. And what do we find out here? Well, he gets basically the sun, and a 1-9, so a 2. So he's going to be in a negotiation for his life. This guy is in just a certain level of trouble, and, you know, rightfully so. I mean, to try to overthrow the U.S. government, and his South Node is also involved in this. So, yeah, this is karmic. He is going to find out that we have some limits, and he maybe found those limits and is going to have some consequences. Okay, then we move on to the third house, and I'm sorry, the first house is ruled by Mars, and you know, Pluto is going to deeply dispose of it, and then Moon is going to be Venus. Okay, the third house is the house of information. It's ruled by Mercury, and he has a stellium. Okay, he's got Venus in Libra, second house, and he's got, or excuse me, Venus. He's got Mars in Libra, second house. Then he has Venus in Libra, third house of information. Jupiter, to expand, in Scorpio, the information, and Neptune, to take this dream, whatever dream he had, and expand it in a more directed way. And quite frankly, he was successful in that sense because he brought in, you know, people who you wouldn't think would otherwise participate in that way. And in his progressed, he's got Uranus in the third house. So yes, in the house of information, expect some unexpected information. And he's got the 5 of vessels. You know, he thought he was dancing in his pentagram. You know, that he was making it happen. That we were going to be, you know, Donald Trump 2024, 2028. 2032 and so on, you know, and you know he doesn't have a right to decide that for us. So you know that's kind of a disgusting thing that took place. Okay, and now where it gets interesting. Okay, moon on moon, this guy might be in just a little bit of trouble. On his ascendant, he's age 51 right now. And if I take the lines, and as I've showed you before, and I run them down, and you look up at the top at that 22 degree Venus, and you just come down where Venus and 17 degrees Mars, and you come and you align with the ascendant, you're going to come right out at his age, right about now, or 52 years of age. Because right now, in the 9th house, that's going to go up from 44 years of age to 54. And you can see some stuff is getting ready to happen. The guy has kind of created a mess for himself, and this is in the house of roots. He has Sun in Sagittarius in his natal. He's into nostalgia. You know, I think he thinks it's 1950, and he's kind of a private sort of guy, and he believes with a passion in his situation that he's doing. Now on the progressed, he's got Moon conjunct Neptune. So, and then and if you go above, it's basically in the 4th house. You can see almost right next to it in the 10th house, the 0 degrees moons. Something's getting ready to move on in, and the moon moves fast. So he's about to be. His roots, things about his home life are just about to be kind of turned upside down. And what does he get? He gets the wheel. He has weaved himself a web of trouble. Okay? He has gone in and he's weaved himself trouble. I mean, you know, you can't live in a lawless fashion and expect the people of the United States to take that from you. But you know, he felt that not only could he do that, but he did do that. Okay, and in the, you know, and that's in the let's see, where are we at, the 4th house. Okay, now we're going to go on into the 5th house, where the guy has got some you know, basically his drama is playing out. And so in his transit chart, okay, he's got Venus in Capricorn, okay? And then right next to it, he's got Pluto at 24 degrees. And your 5th house is going to be the Sun, okay? The drama, I am, and that's ruled by Sun, okay? And that's usually Leo, okay? And in that sense, he gets the journey. The 5th house is the drama. He is about to be going on a journey that is different than he's been on. And it's going to become completely clear in this next house, in the 6th house, where he is, his careers, he's independent, and he's cold, and he's got his North Node in Aquarius. I mean, he could just really care less. And in his transit now, he gets Pluto. He's got Sun conjunct Saturn conjunct Jupiter, okay? He's saying, I am looking to expand government past its limits in Capricorn, in this really cold way in his career. And he gets the Page of Boughs. He felt pretty stout. He felt pretty comfortable. He felt like it was okay to break the law, and I think that he broke the law. I'm going to just say it. I think that he participated. I think that's why when they did the actual voting, not voting, but reading of the vote, that he put in his objection to Biden being the president. And I don't think that that Cruz is going to go away lightly. I think that legally we're going to be hauling him out, and there's probably going to be a number of things. Okay, in the 7th house, he's too personal. He's independent. he has goals, and that's in the house of partnerships, ruled by Venus, where things we want them to look good. In his progress, he's got Neptune on the let's see, transit. On his transit, he's got Neptune, and on his progressed, it's in Pisces. Okay, so he was dreaming. Okay, and he's got Chiron in the 7th. So, you know, he needs to be healing his partnerships, not tearing them apart. And there's some deep work for him in that particular range, and that's also on his midheaven. And he gets the King of Arrows, where, you know, he was looking to inject us as partners with this really fairly well-developed takeover of the United States government. And in some ways, it's very frightening to consider how close this whole thing came to maybe being so out of control that we didn't know ourselves from ourselves. And I think that was their goal. Okay, and in the 8th house of sex, death, and rock and roll, ruled by Pluto, let's see, what is that? Let's see. He's a dark light. He likes to scapegoat. He gets the Queen of Stones. He's very loyal to Trump, and he says he's not. You know, he says, oh no, that wasn't right. You shouldn't have done that. But you know, the proof is in the pudding. It's not what he says. It's what he says. Okay, let's just be clear. The guy says one thing, and he's kind of bad news bearer. Okay. In the 9th house of foreign, ruled by Jupiter, he's bold, he rushes in, he's impulsive. That's your house of higher information. He rushes in where others fear to tread. And right in here, if you follow that line down, you're going to see from his transit chart, he has a Mars-Uranus. And that's kind of what we've been talking about in the USA chart in the 6th house. Well, he has it in the 9th house, that he's trying to bring it in from a foreign perspective. So does that mean he's a foreign agent? You know, I don't know. And in his progressed outer, he also, it's not conjunct, but the conjunction starts breaking apart. So I think this is where we start really seeing the trouble for Ted Cruz, where he had kind of a tight hold on this process, and that's in Aries. So he has Saturn in Aries in the 9th house. He gets the 2 of Arrows. He attempted to commit an injustice. Somebody who's not even from here. I mean, you know, it just, I don't know. What the heck? I mean, why is this guy, you know, what the heck? Okay, so, and then in our 10th house, he has in his transit, he's got Moon in Gemini, okay, and then in his progressed midheaven, he's got Jupiter in his north node in Gemini, okay, and basically what does he get? Ace of Arrows, breath of life. And I think that is for us, you know, for us to be aware and brought around to understanding that this guy really doesn't have our best interests at heart, that he in fact is only as good as his word. And it's looking to me a lot like his word is a little bit useless, because he does say things that do not necessarily comport to the truth. Okay, then we have in the 11th house for secret groups, the occult. He's a speaker for those groups. That's in Cancer, okay? And in his 11th house, in his outer progressed, he gets Sun conjunct Mercury. He's about to be exposed, okay? Some limitations are about to come down upon his head. In the house of Cancer, yes, or the 4th house. So, you know, ruled by Moon, and that's kind of go back to that Moon on Moon theme. You know, that if you go back down to that 4th house, and there's some stuff going on, he gets the Queen of Arrows. Okay, things are coming in at him, and And again, the 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 people that are coming at him right now, the investigations, I would imagine this would be the FBI, have a fairly developed case, and we will start hearing about it, because I'm really, I'm thinking that in April, April 18th, it's going to be lights out for the guy. We're going to be hearing about it. Okay, in the 12th house of the unseen, ruled by Neptune, okay, in his natal chart, he gets, he gets, protecting and providing in the unseen, okay? And he has his south node, and he has Black Moon Lilith. I mean, he came in, no doubt, to provide us with some 411, okay? But on his outer progressed, he's got Saturn, and that's in Cancer. He's getting, or excuse me, that's in Leo. He's getting handed his 411 right now, and it's going to cause him to go into retreat, you know. So that's actually that kind of gives me a little bit, that I feel better, because I feel like you can't have someone in office at this point who's openly saying that it's let's overthrow the government. That's just not an appropriate thing. And he gets the Six of Stones. He was trying to exploit the government, and the world was watching. So with that, I thank you for joining me here today, and please do hit the like, share, and subscribe, and join myself and my lovely co-reader, Pearl Rowland, over on www.twiggy.com. And she and I are getting ready. We started yesterday. We're going to do a numerology reading and a tarot astrology reading on Edgar Cayce, because, well, you know, kind of it feels like at the end of the day right now, it was the psychics, the tarot card readers at all, that really were able to provide accurate information, and it really wasn't the news cycle who had their noses up the corporate angle. So with that, I really thank you for joining me here today.